Alright guys, welcome back to Promotech. Thanks for tuning in. Samsung may have just made one of the biggest changes to the Galaxy lineup in years, and almost nobody is talking about it the right way. On the surface, the Galaxy S27 series looks like another yearly refresh with a few expected upgrades. But the more reports that come out, the more it feels like Samsung is quietly rewriting what a flagship Galaxy phone actually is. These aren't just hardware decisions. They could completely change which model makes the most sense to buy, who gets the best experience, and where Samsung plans to take the Galaxy brand over the next few years. Let's dive right into the video. One report out of Korea immediately caught my attention because it suggests Samsung is moving away from a strategy it has followed for years. Instead of keeping its best technology exclusive to the Ultra, the company could be bringing its new privacy display to all four Galaxy S27 models. That sounds like great news at first, but it's also what makes the report so difficult to believe. Samsung usually creates clear reasons for people to spend more on the Ultra, not fewer. Every generation has at least one feature that stays locked behind the most expensive model, and that's been one of Samsung's biggest marketing advantages. So if this report turns out to be accurate, it isn't just another display upgrade. It signals a completely different philosophy. The timing makes this even more interesting. Samsung has reportedly decided not to supply this display technology to rival brands anytime soon, while companies like Xiaomi, Huawei, and Oppo are racing to develop their own alternatives. Industry analysts expect privacy display technology to become much more common over the next couple of years. So Samsung may be trying to establish itself as the leader before anyone else catches up. From a business perspective, that makes perfect sense. But from a product strategy perspective, giving the same premium display technology to every Galaxy model is something Samsung almost never does. That's exactly why I started looking at Samsung's history instead of just the rumors. Think back to the anti-reflective display introduced with the Galaxy S24 Ultra. It became one of the phone's standout features almost overnight. Yet years later, the regular Galaxy models still don't have it. Samsung had every opportunity to expand that technology across the lineup, and it chose not to. That pattern has repeated itself with cameras, charging features, cooling systems, and even exclusive software tools. The Ultra has always been designed to feel special. So if Samsung suddenly removes one of those barriers with the privacy display, it probably means something else is about to create an even bigger gap. And that's where this story takes a completely different turn. The display may grab headlines, but the processor strategy could end up defining the entire Galaxy S27 lineup. Reports suggest Qualcomm isn't preparing one flagship Snapdragon chip this time. It's preparing two. The Pro and Ultra are expected to receive the more powerful version, while the standard models could ship with a lower-tier flagship processor. On paper, that may not sound dramatic, but in real-world use, it could completely change the value of each phone. For the first time in years, buying a Galaxy flagship may no longer guarantee you're getting Samsung's best performance. What's even more surprising is that some early reports suggest the lower-tier chip may deliver only modest improvements over previous generations and, in certain workloads, could even fall behind last year's flagship processor. That's a risky move because buyers usually expect every new flagship to feel like a step forward. Instead, Samsung could be creating a situation where two phones launched on the same day deliver noticeably different experiences while carrying the same Galaxy S27 branding. Quick thanks to Walverse for supporting today's video. If you're someone who enjoys staying ahead of technology instead of reacting after everyone else, Walverse is worth checking out. It helps keep your digital life organized across multiple devices without adding unnecessary complexity, making it a great companion for anyone invested in the latest tech. Then there's the pricing, and this is where Samsung's strategy starts making even more sense. 2nm processors are significantly more expensive to manufacture, so separating the lineup allows Samsung to control costs while still marketing every device as a flagship. The downside is that customers ultimately pay the price. Depending on your region, there's also a chance not everyone receives the same Snapdragon processor. That's a debate Galaxy fans know all too well. And if Samsung repeats that approach here, many buyers could end up paying premium prices without receiving the premium hardware they expected. Even the storage story deserves a closer look. Reports point toward UFS 5.0 finally making its way into the Galaxy S27 lineup, promising faster app launches, quicker file transfers, and better AI performance. But Samsung's track record makes me cautious. Last year's hardware already supported faster storage technologies, yet the retail phones didn't always take full advantage of that capability. It's another reminder that supporting a feature and actually shipping it are two very different things. Before we go any further, if you're enjoying these deeper breakdowns, consider subscribing. More than 70% of the people watching these videos still aren't subscribed, and this channel is built for people who care about the details behind the headlines, not just the marketing slides Samsung wants everyone to see. When you put all these pieces together, the Galaxy S27 series starts looking less like 4 different phones and more like 2 completely different flagship experiences sharing the same family name. One side appears focused on giving more premium features to a wider audience, while the other quietly locks away the performance advantages that power users actually care about. If that's really the direction Samsung is taking, then the biggest decision this year may not be whether to buy the Galaxy S27. It may be figuring out which version of flagship Samsung actually wants to sell you, and whether that's the same definition buyers have always expected. Take care and stay safe. I'll see you in the next one soon.